Hi, welcome back to my channel, Cookies, Cookies, and More Cookies. I'm Susan, your baking buddy. So today, we're going to take on a little bit more of a challenging cookie. The ultimate lady lock. Can you see those there? Look at these. They're crunchy on the outside, ooey gooey on the inside. The lady locks are the queen of any wedding cookie table. They have always been known to take a tremendous amount of work, days on end. Matter of fact, I've always shied away from them because of how much work is involved in making these. Are a little bit on the bite size. Sometimes they're very long. They're also called cream horns, but to me, a cream horn is much larger than these. These are just kind of bite size. You might get 2 bites out of these, and these are just delicious and scrumptious. So today I'm going to show you an easier way to make them. There's quite a few steps involved to make them, but I've alleviated a couple of the steps. So let's get into it. Okay, this is the first step into making lady locks. You have to do some prep work, so that's what we're going to do today. And don't mind my terrible looking aluminum foil. I had an accident with the foil, so we will just carry on. I'm going to cover the clothespins. Now, I choose to use clothespins because, you know, I'm old school and I just had them, and this is the way I've always thought about doing lady locks, so this is what I use. Now, you can buy stainless steel rods. They're on Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below to rods. There are different sizes. That's one of the reasons I like the clothespins, is because they are small. Some of the metal rods are larger, and to me those are cream horns, not lady locks. Lady locks are tiny little cream filled cookies, and that's what makes these. So the first thing I'm going to do is cover them in foil, and then you're going to coat them in, yes, Crisco shortening, not oil. You're going to use shortening. This is a must. If you don't use Crisco or shortening to grease up your foil, your cookies are going to be ruined. So you're not going to be able to get them off these clothespins if you don't do this step. So that's one big step you cannot miss. So let me just get started here. Okay, so I am not making a tremendous amount of cookies. I'm only making them for this particular video, so I'm not going to cover a lot. If you were going to make a lot of cookies, obviously you would cover a whole lot more to have them available. So now we're going to coat the clothespins. This gets kind of greasy, so we will glove up. Okay, now that we're done with this phase, And we're on to step 3. So now you can preheat your oven and get your cookie trays ready. You're going to need to put parchment paper, clean parchment paper, on your cookie trays. Okay, so like I said, we're going to do it the easy way. And the easiest way I've found to do it is using the Pastry farm or any brand. I know the Big W store has a brand in there. It's probably less expensive than this. You get 2 sheets in here, and so you're going to work with 1 sheet at a time. So you're going to take the 1 sheet out. Now these will stay in your freezer. So if you get them on sale, put them in your freezer, and then when you're getting ready to make cookies or whatever you're going to make with it, then you could put it in the refrigerator and let it thaw. And that's what I did with this. We still need it to get up a little bit warmer. So I'm going to take out 1 sheet, hopefully. You're going to take out 1 sheet. You're going to get this other sheet, and because we're going to use it right away, we don't need to rewrap it. But if I wasn't going to use it until, say, tomorrow or something, I would probably wrap this in cellophane or saran wrap or whatever, so to keep it out of the air, because you don't want it to dry out. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it back into the refrigerator, especially if your kitchen is hot. You've been baking all day and you've got a hot kitchen, then you're going to want to get that in cool. So you can do this a couple different ways. Now, depending upon how big you want your cookies, I only want my cookies bite-sized. So it's already folded into 3s. I'm going to use those folds as my guidelines. I'm going to just roll this out a little bit just to get it a little bit more pliable. And it is, thick, so I want it to be a little thinner. And what you can do is just cut along these 3 or 2 folds. Now I don't want my cookies, let's see here. See, this is as long as the clothespin. And what I'm going to do is just, again, roll this out of here. I like this marble rolling pin. I have all kinds, I have wooden ones that I've had for years. I don't like them as well as I like this marble one. So you're going to take this dough, and I have a pastry sheet here. So it tells me, there's markings on here. So I want to make my rolls about 1 inch. So I'm going to cut it every inch. And actually, I think 1 inch is just maybe a little bit too big, but I already started 1 inch, so we're going to go with 1 inch. You're going to take your clothespin. You're going to lay this down. I usually start at like an angle, and then you're just going to overlap these ends. You'll see how much longer they are. But the water helps keep the dough stuck to one another. And then when you put them down on your cookie sheet, you want to make sure you put the ends down. So it helps keeps them from blowing up. I think personally 1 inch is a little bit too wide. I would prefer them to be a little less. So when you put this on, you're going to put this around the first, and then you're going to angle that down so you just get it over top of the other one, but not covering it. So you just want it over top of the trim a little bit. Now this one really stuck well, so I don't think I need any water. And then you're just going to continue down. Size here will be nice, little bite size. So like I said, you put this at an angle and then you angle that down so you're not like covering, you know, you're trying to get as much out of that dough as you can, and there you go. Out of just one sheet, I was able to get 29 cookies. Now, I'm not going to do the other sheet because I'm only making these cookies for this video, and I will use that other sheet for something else. So that gives you an idea of how many clothespins you're going to need, and how much, you know, you're going to yield out of one box of cookies. So you get about 30 roughly out of one sheet, so that's 60 cookies. You know, you can go from there. So now we're going to put these in the oven. We're going to use a 350 degree oven for about 12 minutes. You're going to have to keep a close eye on them because they will burn really quickly. So we're just going to keep a little tab on them, but we're going to put them in for about 12 minutes. Okay, the next step in our Lady Lock creation is the filling. So I'm going to use my trusty KitchenAid mixer that I've had since the 1980s. This thing has never let me down. Now there's all types of recipes out there for this filling. I have found this one seems to be my favorite. Every time I make these cookies, everybody raves about them. So let's get started on the filling. One thing about Lady Locks is they can be done in phases. There's a lot of steps to putting them together. It's kind of why people shy away from making them at times, because there are so many steps. But you can make the shells one night, you can make the filling another night, and you can fill the shells on like a third night or whatever. So you don't have to feel that you have to do this all in one motion. You can do it in sections, especially if you're working and you can only do this stuff at night. You know, you can't do all of this in one night. So you're going to want to break it up. And that is what makes these cookies so special. Okay, we're going to start off with 1 cup of butter, softened. And you can put it in, and I'm using my whisk type of attachment. You can use whatever attachment you want to use, this one or the other one. So we're going to beat this butter. Oh, we're going to use, again, Crisco or shortening. I know not too many recipes call for shortening, but these do. So you're going to use 1 cup of shortening. And now we're going to whisk those together. This recipe is really too small for this mixer. It probably should have used my hand mixer on it. I'm used to doubling it or tripling it, and I kind of forgot. So, and this is a smaller bowl. You know, this is the older bowl, so I don't know what, you know, some of them are like 7-quart now. So you can just use a hand mixer on this, but you just want to whisk that up until it's creamy. Doesn't take much. You're going to add 1 cup of powdered sugar. I like to add mine gradually so it doesn't go all over the place. I'm not used to having this mixer like working behind this mixer. I'm used to working in front of it, so this is a little different for me. Doesn't take much to get it mixed up. Okay, you're going to use evaporated milk in this, and you're going to want to make sure it's cold. You're also going to want to make sure it's evaporated, not sweetened and condensed. Normally with evaporated milk, you need this type of can opener to get it open. So you want to make sure you're using the right stuff. Evaporated milk in here. And you're going to whisk that up. Okay, you're going to add your vanilla, 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Okay, we're going to add our final ingredient, which is marshmallow cream or marshmallow fluff, and it looks like that. 5 tablespoons. So 4 tablespoons is equal to 1/4 cup. So you're going to need 1/4 cup and 1 more tablespoon. The nice thing about this fluff is you don't have to be exact. You can, you know, be generous with your measurements on this and get it in here. Now this recipe here is enough to do 60 of the cookies. See, it didn't really make that much, and it's kind of small in this bowl, so I probably should have just used my hand mixer. Else here. And I'm going to fill up my icing in my bag. Push that down, get the air out of it. And now you're going to put this in here and just fill it up. Now, here's a funny thing. You can fill it from both sides. So then you have it like that. So there you go. Now what you're going to do after you fill all of these is you're going to cover them with powdered sugar. So let me get these filled for you. So there you have it, the queen of any cookie table that you find is a lady lock. flaky on the outside, creamy on the inside. These are definitely delicious. If you attempt this recipe, I would love to hear how your lady locks turned out. So leave a comment. Leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and follow. And we'll see you next time. But don't forget, bake, create, and celebrate baking. Until next time.